Can I get a little
into
test?
science, yeah.
Yes, it's working. All right.
More of a science guy.
Oh, so you're Bill Nye.
Exactly. So
That
we're
makes
just
sense.
gonna capture him only.
Unless I
That's
film
pretty
it, I'll
uncomfortable.
hold you guys.
Yeah, where's your tripod?
I don't have it. I told you I took it home.
You should have just left it here.
I mean, I have a
Seems
perfect
like you
angle.
have tripod worries.
All right. Audio's looking
Wait, should we put the
pretty
camera
good.
over
There we go.
Test. 3, 2, 1, test. There's a cat
Right there.
on the mushroom. Test.
It's recording.
Uh-huh.
We could just edit that out.
Where should we put it? Like, on top of the bag?
Yeah, sure.
Wait, you're recording wirelessly?
Yeah.
No, those.
Well, these are wired. That will be
Synced.
synced to it. Yeah.
Synced to it.
Big production system going on here.
It looks like
Terrible lighting.
Hello.
All right, so let's make sure this is in the middle. So we don't have too much of Darren's breathing.
Right over the paper, so it stops the. He was a drummer boy when he started this. But
Oh,
yeah.
you did a lot of drummies, so don't kick the old.
Don't
Exactly.
look at that. Look at that spike. See that spike?
That's me.
Definitely don't smack
major.
the table like that.
But
my
who
levels?
cares?
Or
Are my
call.
levels okay?
Yeah, levels are fine. Well, now we're at a regular speaking tone. That's right.
Let's get a little Scordine in here. Okay, that's me.
That is you.
When you hear it on the replay, you're gonna be like.
Yeah,
That's
everybody
why
hates their
whenever I hear
own
my
voice.
voice, I wanna shoot myself.
No, I love my voice.
It's great.
Oh,
It's my instrument.
You
That's
should
pretty.
sing.
That's cute.
Thank you.
Alright,
Anyway,
so tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Mr. Scordine. I teach math here. I got into teaching when I was in college. I loved tutoring kids. I loved to, see that little aha moment. So that's why I
Yeah.
started. I taught for the first 4 years in the Bronx, and then that school dissolved, becoming a separate school. So I came here.
Wow.
It's a great decision.
great decision.
Yeah, love Queens Metropolitan.
It's like
Yeah.
a family over here, right?
Oh yeah, I've met some of my closest friends when I moved here.
Okay.
I still carpool with a lot of them. I still see them on weekends. So it's and even people that left.
Yeah.
People that went to different schools. I still hang out with them. So it's a nice little family for the teachers.
So, where did you grow up?
Yeah. I want to hear about this.
Oh, I grew up
How
on
did
Long
you grow
Island.
up? Okay.
How did I grow up? Well, sequentially, as people do. I grew up on Long Island in Suffolk County, out in Medford.
Nice.
Now it's taking pictures.
It's just saying hi. I think I want to turn it off.
Interesting.
that's fine.
Interesting. Yeah, I grew up in Suffolk County. I went to Longwood High School. I don't know. It's just a regular upbringing. Like you guys owned chickens when you were kids, right?
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Did you actually tend to chickens?
Yeah. That
Wow.
was my dad liked the idea of having chickens because it taught responsibility. I have two brothers, so like we had to go out every
Oh,
day.
me too.
We had to change their. You had chickens too?
no, I have two brothers.
Yeah.
I wish my parents had chickens. Not a whole farm.
Well, we didn't have a whole farm. We just had the chickens. No
fresh
pigs.
eggs every day, right? They produce-
Fresh eggs. Well, my dad told me that a chicken will lay an egg every 25 hours. I don't know if that's true, but I believe it.
Fact check.
Yeah, go ahead. Pull that up, Jamie.
Well, how often?
Jamie, he said
Oh,
Jamie.
so you do watch
Let's
Joe
watch Joe
Rogan.
Rogan.
Who's Joe Rogan?
I like this. So wait, how often would they produce eggs?
Once every 25 hours.
Exactly.
And they usually don't lay eggs during the during the winter months, the colder months. But we had lights out there, like heat lamps
right,
and everything. So we had to make sure that they knew that, or they
Yeah.
were tricked into thinking that it was the correct.
Every
time of year.
other 1.5 to 2 days.
Oh.
Okay.
So
My dad has a friend who
Almost.
has eggs. Yeah, like the summertime, like you said, because last time I went to his house, we just burned down his chicken coop because we needed some firewood.
Wow.
He just
Okay.
rebuilt it
What
'cause
happened to the
like
chickens?
He ate them.
Ate the
roasted.
chickens.
But in the
Got it.
summer months,
Boom.
he has about
Yeah.
almost 12 a day. He had like 4 or 5 chickens.
That's
He's
nice.
eating 12 fresh eggs a day.
Yeah. And
12
it's
eggs a
I mean,
day.
Yeah, that's like
Eating
a
12 eggs a
Eating
day.
12 full eggs a day.
That's kind of.
No yolk. I mean, no, it is yolk. Because people just do only egg whites.
yes, but I mean,
He's a
why,
firm believer in
why
full
get rid
yolk.
of the yolk? Come on.
Yeah, most people just
Healthy
have problems
fats.
balancing cholesterol in their diet, but if you're getting from the egg, it's a really healthy option.
Well, yeah, and it's not like these chickens had like a bunch of pesticides in their diets or whatever.
I always thought salmonella you could get it from fresh eggs. That's not true.
You ever had chicken tartare?
Oh yeah.
Chicken tartare? No, I haven't. But when I was in Japan, we took a trip to Japan in 2014. They had eggs out of the freezer box. They had just eggs like on the shelf. And apparently, if you don't, maybe it's the pasteurization process. I don't know what it is exactly. But if you don't put the egg through the same process that they do for American eggs. Like you could just leave them on the shelf for a long time.
Really?
Listen, this is
I'm
what I
going-
saw.
I'm doing the Japan trip.
I'm bearing witness.
Doing the Japan trip.
You should check it out. We ate every day at 7-Eleven because it was quick in and out, and we didn't have to know a whole lot of Japanese, which we didn't know. But yeah, we ate these gnarly sandwiches, these 3-corner sandwiches. I can't remember what they were called, but they were made out of rice, and they had like some of them had tuna in them, some of them had like squash.
So it was like a rice cake almost? Or?
Sort of, yes.
Was
yes.
there a difference in the sushi? American?
Oh, yeah.
Well, we went to this cool fish market. I think it was called Nishiki Fish Market in Tokyo, and it was amazing. Like it was a wet market. Like they had, the fish and whatever out in front of you.
Yeah.
So you could pick whichever. Like, oh, I want made out of that one. But we didn't go that far. But we went to like this very fresh sushi place when we were there, and it was like we had a tuna roll, and it was it melted in your mouth. It was beautiful.
That's great. I know the bluefin tuna goes for a lot.
Memories.
Yeah, so much memories, right?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people, they like to spend their money on like. I had a talk with my aunt once, and I was talking to her about like, it was when I was younger. I was like, oh, I want this and that, and I want all these things. It was my birthday, and I started getting money, and I was like, okay, I know I'm gonna spend it on already. And she was like, why don't you just invest it into a memory because you have those forever. I don't know. I think that stuck with me because like now every time I go somewhere, like usually like money's on everybody's mind, like
Sure.
in terms of like, because we just went to a restaurant the other day for somebody's birthday.
Ooh,
And the
la-di-da.
bill came out to around $1,000.
How many people were there?
14.
Okay, well,
But we told the people. Our friends told them.
Our friend, yeah.
Our friends told the people that they were 16, so they charged us for.
Because they
16.
can't count.
Yeah. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, what is it? Was this like a price fix or?
Yeah, it was supposed to be 55 per person, but tax and tip was included, so it came out to 70 per person.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I guess some people were short, but we made ends meet. Unfortunately, some people had to pay.
Whenever I went to go out like to eat when I was going to high school and even in college, like it would always be a real like we would all put in our money and then eventually somebody's going to be short. Mm-hmm. So like you always have this situation where it's like, oh well, can everyone else kick in a few bucks?
Yeah.
And then we'd have to like itemize. I feel like it's so much easier now with like Venmo. You have like
exactly.
Splitwise.
Yeah.
Like you could literally just have one person just figure it out on the bill right away and then be like, you owe $17, and then it's in your account like 2 seconds later. Mm-hmm. Amazing technology.
Yeah, but then there's also like those old timers. Like my dad, he's like, we're not like putting our cards into.
Hopefully,
these...
Mr. Gurr, you're not listening to this podcast.
Yeah,
your son just called you an old man.
But anyway, he was like, I was like, Dad, I'm just gonna download this app and put my credit card information in, just so I could my friends could pay me back. And he was like, do not do that. That is dangerous. It's risking your life.
Now, this is what your dad sounds like?
No, he's more soft-spoken. I don't know. I feel like that it would have...
But you had to change the voice, because otherwise I was going to think it was you in this story and not...
That's just like a regular dad. Like, I do the same dad voice from my dad.
I mean, my dad was...
Does your dad sound like that?
Me? No.
What does he sound like?
Soft-spoken.
More soft-spoken, yeah.
Give me a little hit of Mr. Accardo.
Come on, Moss, really?
Exactly like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh.
I stopped getting in trouble as much, so like...
So he doesn't say that as much?
Yeah, so we have conversation now, rather than don't do that anymore.
No reprimanding? Okay,
Exactly.
that's good.
No, my parents are just like, they treat me like I'm... Yeah, so my parents treat me like I'm a kid still. I mean, I think they just want to feel that responsibility of like having a child, because one of my brothers, like, he's off in Pittsburgh in college,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other one is like, he's around in the house, but he does like his own thing, like he's 22. And then there's me, and I'm still in high school, and they want to.
So you're the youngest?
Yeah, and they want to treat me like I'm still the child.
Right.
So unfortunately, it's like I have to like kind of, I don't know, I have to like encourage them over and over again that like I'm getting older, because they want to have that sense of parenthood still.
Well, sure. I mean, you hear about like empty nest syndrome where
Mm-hmm.
parents are, don't know what to do with themselves after the kids leave.
Yeah.
Like my hands once busy, now we're still.
Yeah.
That's from something for sure.
I feel like, no, because my dad is like, I can't wait. I'm gonna live my life when I'm older. I'm gonna move down to Miami, everybody Florida. Go to Florida for their retirement home, like, because my aunt lives down there and they have family, so it'll be fun for them with the weather.
Well, I don't know. I mean, is it going to be too hot now with climate change being what it is? Is it going to be too hot to live in Florida?
My dad grew up in Guyana, so it's like South America, right by the equator. It's like you can't get hotter than that. So it's like
It's the middle.
it's literally the middle. And they grew up on farms and stuff like that. Like he grew up he actually grew up in a bar, but they like raised their own.
In a
cattle.
barn?
No, a bar.
A bar. Okay.
Yeah, so like the upstairs was their house and the downstairs was like the bar.
Cool.
So he grew up, serving people, growing up around that type of stuff.
Excellent.
Some servitude. Actually, in Guyana, my ancestors came as indentured servants.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
So you have like some idea of what your genealogy looks like? You have your
No
family
idea.
tree?
Actually, I have no
Okay.
idea.
Have you done that before?
I tried. My mother tried to assemble all of her relatives together, and before he passed away, my dad tried to do that to some extent as well. But it's hard to get farther than a couple of branches back, because you ask people, and it's like, oh yeah, I remember this person, and then the next relative you ask, it's a totally different story. It's like, oh, it's not Margaret, this is actually Mary. Oh, it's not Mary, this is actually James.
Like telephone.
Yeah. Kind of. So and then there are stories like, oh, your great great grandfather, came over to this country and he was like a fur trapper and he like hid from the cops, and then other people
Moss
would be
would
like,
definitely use that story with that.
I like that.
it sounds like an adventure story.
Yeah. My father invested in 23andMe, and how it works is like they take the cotton swab in your cheek, they swipe it, and then you give them the testing sample.
Yeah.
And they send it, and they analyze it, and they try to take as much from it. But the best way to do it is if you have your relatives involved, because now they know, like, let's say my second cousin gives their sample, and then my dad, and then his uncles who are still alive, or other relatives, they can start seeing how far it actually spreads out. Because maybe one branch married like Australian roots, or another one from Middle East or whatever.
Yeah, the more data you have, the better it is. Yeah, I fear for that because then now 23andMe, a private company, has your genetic information, right?
How do you feel about that cloning?
How far
All
are we
that
away from that?
genetic.
Don't know about cloning. I mean, like you
Genome.
watch the movie Gattaca, and they talk about valid versus invalid, and they talk about, oh, you have a 70% chance of dying before the age of 50 because of heart failure.
Yeah,
So I wonder whether that is detrimental for people getting insurance or even getting jobs, becoming astronauts like in Gattaca. Super important for me to become an
How do you
astronaut.
think about the insurance part? Because now people can decide whether they want to invest, and then a lot of people probably won't live to a certain age, like where they deem it's worth buying or investing in insurance.
I don't know if it's even the other way. People are living longer than ever before. So, like, if you retire at 65, then it used to be that you tote around until you're 80, 85, 88, like the upper expectation of life, and then
Move on,
to whatever it is. But now, if people are living to 100 routinely, if people are living to 120 or 130 routinely, then what adjustment needs to be made? Should people be working for longer? Should people be accepting of the fact that they don't have to work for longer? Is there, where's this money going to come from? Who knows?
What do you think is like a good route to living long? Because I know you're very young, but I have a neighbor. Right now he's 103, I think, and
Whoa! Congratulations.
Yeah. And his son-in-law is 98, I think.
Oh my god!
And recently his cousin next door passed away. Rosa was her name. She was 99, I think.
Oh.
And like they found the fountain of youth, but you would ask them like what their secret was, and
Yeah.
Rosa would say butter. I say butter every day. And he was Ray was a World War II veteran,
Right.
and he went to Vietnam and all that stuff. So he's telling stories, and it's like I feel like there's like no true, because like everyone gets their secret.
Yeah. There's
I
like
think
it's
it's
so
all
different
different.
sometimes.
Well, like just like everybody's different. I feel like everybody's magic formula is different. A body that's used to, or like a genetic code that's used to like a Mediterranean diet, it might not work for people that didn't grow. I guess co-evolve with those kind of things. So especially for me, my lineage is from all sorts of different places. I don't know whether there's one code.
Yeah.
I think the code is to not be overweight, and I think that's what I'm going to go with so far. That's what I got. Just don't be overweight.
It's a good middle, healthy enough, but then you also enjoy life, right?
Yes, I would love to enjoy life. Yeah, and speaking before what Darren said about investing in memories, I really like that idea. I think that if you enjoy your life, you probably live longer. So I try to take at least one trip with my wife every year to try to get different experiences, and it makes you happy. It makes you like enjoy your life more.
I can definitely attest to that, because like when I go on vacations with my family, even young.
Even over the weekend, just now, like we had senior trip.
Senior trip
Yeah.
was great.
Like that was.
Oh, you were both on the senior trip?
Yeah, it was
Even
phenomenal.
just sharing a room,
Yeah,
like having
it's-
roommates, or just spending the entire day. I know people get tired of each other,
Mm-hmm.
but if you just spend that time, you make those memories together. It lasts a
It's-
while longer.
Right.
Yeah.
It's fun to look back at. You know, and one day's gonna be sad, but it's
That's
worth it.
true. I mean, I still talk to the people that I went with on my senior trip. That was a cool trip. We locked one guy in the cabinet. I didn't do any skiing. It was a skiing trip.
Me
but,
too. I didn't do any skiing.
Yeah, my knee. There's a problem with the cartilage in my knee, so I don't really love skiing. It hurts, but you know, there was plenty of different opportunities. You know, they had a hot tub there. They had like games
Where
there
did
and
you
stuff
go?
like that. Oh man, this is. You called me young before, but this was a while ago. It was
sounds
upstate somewhere. It was
exactly
like
Villa Roma.
it was.
They're all the same.
If it
all
wasn't
the same.
that, it was very similar. Yes, it was an all-inclusive place. They had a dance in the evening. They had
Yeah.
skiing. They had like lodge stuff. You could do tubing. Yeah, but I mean, it was very similar.
Campfire.
Was there a campfire? It must have been. Must have been.
Gotta be campfire.
Gotta
You
be.
can't not have a campfire,
Exactly.
in my opinion.
Like because of that, like this, just that experience. Like you know, like I'm already thinking about it right now. Like just the day I got back, I was like that was one of the best like weekends I've ever had, and like it was only 2 days
Right?
with like some of my best friends, and
You're bonding with your friends.
at the
that's
same
it.
time, it's like you want to do it again so quickly. Like we were in English today, and don't tell Miss Fagan I told you this, but we had like a little bit of free time, and I used my phone
Oh no! In a non-green zone.
Code
in a
red.
non-green zone.
That's a code red.
Yeah, it is. It's bad.
But I found a nice cabin. It's like 5 hours out into
Mhm.
Pennsylvania,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks so nice. Like I want to have that. I aspire to have those like experiences just because I know like we're gonna look back in them, we're
Right.
gonna remember them, and like we're all going away to college. Oh, I mean I don't know if we're all going away, but like we're all going to college,
Right.
It's separating. From
and like separating. Like I'm going away to Massachusetts. Moss is
Undecided.
undecided.
It's getting a little late in the day, my man.
It is. It is.
It's okay. Moss is clutch. Anyway, but like all of our other friends, like you know, they're all two of them are going away upstate,
Right.
and to SUNY, and like the rest are you know each making their little decision.
But this is nice because, like you, I mean, like it or not, you grew up next to people like Moss, and you grew up around a certain group of people, right?
Mhm.
But then you're going to go out, you're going to go to Massachusetts, you're going
Yeah.
to go to wherever it is,
Yeah.
and you'll meet people that you'll instantly know that there's a bond. So.
yeah, 100, of course.
So you might bring them back and hang out with your friends, or you might exclusively hang out with those friends, whatever the case may be. Like you're drawing from a larger pool of potential friends,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I think that's it just makes it better. And now, especially as you're becoming less of a child and more of a young adult, you know more about like who you want to associate with, who you want to
Yeah.
hang out with, and the qualities that you look for a friend. So I look
Yeah,
forward to seeing the kind of mischief you guys get into.
How was that transition for you, like leaving high school? Because I know like a lot of people are like sentimental.
you know it's a Stony, right?
They held friends.
Yeah.
first.
Longwood High School had a graduating class of 685 students. It was a very big graduating class. I spoke to maybe 30 of them. It just wasn't that close knit. Like
Yeah.
we all went on the senior trip, but I stayed with my friends.
Yeah.
So after high school, I did hang out a lot with the people that I went to college with. A lot of my friends went to Stony Brook, but I would incidentally keep track of the other people that went to different places.
Mhm.
But then after college, it made it a lot easier because I had made a bunch of friends in college, and then I would bring my friends from high school, and they would all mix together, and it would usually be a pretty good time, except for that one time. But anyway, yeah, it was usually a very good time.
I've
But
seen what?
I was gonna say like, in terms of like friendship and high school, college, whatever happens, like it happens. However, I think that like, since you are married, I'm asking this question. Like, who gets the best man? Your roommate in college that you had a really tight bond with, or say your friend in high school?
It was my friend from high school. Yeah, and I don't think that's a hard and fast rule. I do think that you have to consider everything about what the person means to you, about what the person has been through with you, and if it's the kind of person where you were best friends in high school, and then 4 years later you spoke to them maybe 6 times because you were hanging out with college friends and they were hanging out with college friends, that might not be as tight of a bond. But a guy that you hang out with every weekend and you still keep in contact with, even though you're far away. Like, that's the kind of person that you want by your side to be your best man.
It's kind of hard to decide on that because, like, thank God our culture has made other ways to show people gratitude, like, like Godfathers and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not talking about bringing someone in like, for the Godfather kind of reason.
Godfather.
Movies. Yeah, no protection. But
I'm familiar with those famous 3 movies.
Yeah.
Oh, we're all doing finger guns now. In the studio, I know this is an audio medium, but in the studio, we're doing finger guns.
Yeah.
Just imagine 2 boys, 1 man, Hawaiian shirt, flannel.
Yeah, I was told so I'm wearing a Hawaiian shirt, and I was told that I was supposed to wear a Hawaiian shirt, and it's fine that I'm the only one. I just want everyone to know that I'm the only one wearing a Hawaiian shirt, and now I feel out of place.
We'll have you back again.
Okay, and the Hawaiian shirt is guaranteed for next time? It's going to be in my rider.
This is the Cabana Boys podcast. We didn't even introduce ourselves.
We got to make a habit of that.
It's true.
What was I talking about?
Experiences.
Godfathers. Yeah.
Godfathers.
It's so
I want to circle back around to best friends, but let's do Godfathers quick.
Yes, let's finish Godfathers.
No, yeah. Well, it ties into best friends. It's like, do you choose? Because for me, I have a cousin that's like my best friend, and then I've also made really close friends, and then I've also had friends that just been around for a while.
Right.
Oh,
So like they're considered really close.
Felt that.
Because they are close, It's like
family.
It's hard.
Yeah.
I think, with certain exceptions, I think that everybody that was in my circle, like, they knew who was going to be picked. For not for Godfather, because I don't have a child yet, but like they knew who was going to be picked for best man. Like, it's not something that's necessarily written anywhere. It's not something that's necessarily like, an official thing. But like, if you hang out with a certain person all the time and you know how they are with all their friends, like you could probably suss it out. It's not like it's a hidden thing. And I feel like if you're not emotionally mature enough to be like, oh, I'm probably not going to be in that position for this person, then that's one thing, and it's fine. People just need to develop. But if not, then I guess that's where the problems might come in.
That's a good point.
Thanks.
Some people take it too hard,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, how do you deal with that? Because like you feel like you're betrayed. Maybe not you, but I've definitely seen other people.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough for somebody. Let's see. Let me think of an example. Oh, my brother-in-law chose his brother to be the best man, and like that's a natural choice. Your brother is going to be your best man. That's fine.
That's also predictable.
But he's had friends. He's had like these diehard friends that went to the same high school, went to the same college. Kept in track, basically talked every day. And these guys weren't chosen. But I think that they were fine with it because they knew that it had to be that way. Certainly it could have been a problem where why didn't I get picked? Like, why did Drew choose him and not me? Mm-hmm. But I think it was telling that my brother-in-law chose people that were, as I said, emotionally mature enough to say, okay, I get that I'm a close friend, but he has to be the brother.
Yeah,
he has to be the
best man.
man.
How many groomsmen are there?
It's like 5.
I had 7.
Oh,
so there's no
nice lucky number. Yeah, I mean, it is whatever it is, and different cultures have different things.
Yeah.
But I had 7. It just so happened that I had 7 and my wife had 7 bridesmaids. So it was very matchy. As a math teacher, I love symmetry, so it worked out.
Why don't you choose the Fibonacci sequence?
For what?
Isn't it like 6.18 or 6.
You're talking about phi, like 1.618?
Yeah. It's 1. Yeah, you can't have.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, I'm confused by that question, but I'm rolling with it. I love the question. Moss, I love the question.
Numbers.
You said how many math courses you're taking this year?
0.
Okay.
I'm taking a nice.
I'll be counting that money.
Uh-oh. Never saw it?
Great movie.
Oh, ask Mr. Shiner to borrow it. He has the film on him at all times.
Really?
Yeah,
Like, does he have like the DVD just inside like a vest pocket?
Yes.
We were about to leave. Our bus was Friday morning.
And you didn't have a DVD?
We didn't have a DVD.
Rookie mistake.
We stopped the bus. I ran to
Go
Shiner.
get Return of the King.
Exactly. Took it out of his shirt. A little grease from his chest hair. But it was okay. Gave it to me. I ran
That's
back
my
to
colleague.
the bus. He's my idol.
Okay.
Let's go. No, I'm kidding.
He's my dad.
Oh, that's why you gave that voice before, because that was the Mr. Shiner voice.
Exactly.
How the fudge do you forget the vector arrow?
After all?
After all we've been through?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I want to sit in on one of these classes.
Oh yeah, you should have. Do it the day after a test. So you could just bash us on
Not too
our
many people
mistakes.
really understand him, you know?
I know.
He has this rumor. He doesn't have a rumor. He has this, what's the word? I'm blanking.
He has a...
Aura.
No, people believe, like, he doesn't have a persona, but I mean, like, maybe
Charisma?
arrogance. Maybe
Arrogance?
No, but he's
Cockiness?
very smart. He's very smart, and I feel like it's just annoying.
He's very wise.
Very
Mr.
wise.
Shannon,
Yeah,
yes.
a lot of people say ridiculous things to him that it just bothers him. I can see why he might be that way.
Oh, you're thinking that people mess with him?
Oh,
No.
we
I
mess
think
with
he's
him all the time.
Yeah, no,
It's
we
like,
do it on
no,
purpose.
don't do that.
But he, no, he
oh,
loves to do
no,
that.
he loves us.
We give him company because, like, we all know Mr. Shiner wants attention, but he won't never ask for it. He'll never ask for it because he's Mr. Shiner.
He's a
above that.
QMHS union rep.
Yeah, oh, it's the best one. I'm part of the union rep, don't you know?
Yeah, I don't know if you knew that. You know, that's a thing.
It's great.
And he was a lawyer, you know, telling us stories. He has pretty good stories. Second day of school, me and Mas went up to him. Probably the worst.
Like 45.
Probably the worst decision we made. We asked him. He's a vegetarian.
He is a vegetarian.
Yeah, we asked him if he wanted to go on a fishing trip.
Yeah.
And he's like,
I don't hurt vertebrates. Get out of my room.
Yeah. That was like like we had a good 30-minute conversation.
So
30,
you
45 minute conversation.
started off on the right foot with him.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
the last question we asked
Do you want to come fishing?
yeah, it was
Some sound effects.
just scolded us, made us feel like we're animals. Well, we are animals.
Which we are.
Yes.
Well, that sounds like a really good story.
Did you ever have emotional attachments to the chickens that you raised?
No, we didn't even name the chickens. Believe it or
Wow.
not. Yeah, I mean they were nice animals, but you don't pet a chicken. You don't like walk around and like hang out with the chicken. You don't put a collar on the chicken.
This might be a little.
Chicken lays eggs.
This might be a little weird, but how did they taste?
So we had some.
How good were they?
We had some chickens that we had for a couple seasons, and then after a certain amount of time, we would eat them. They taste like chicken.
Did you guys have any like ceremonial, like dinners or just like?
Ceremony, like did we like light a black candle and draw a pentagram?
Did you
And
have like one of them
Salt?
buffalo, one of them barbecue? Just grill it.
No, we grilled them. We were,
That's cool.
Oh, roast,
very
roast
straightforward.
grill barbecue?
It was an easy thing to do, and we barbecued.
Wait, so you know how to butcher a chicken?
No,
Oh.
that was my father who did that.
Big man.
Did you?
He
My
did a
father
great
does-
job.
Father does that too.
I respect that. I respect the discipline with the kids.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah,
That's
Oh,
pretty
thank
cool.
you.
Kind of want to raise chickens. Though.
Yeah,
You got to do it. Yeah, you got to try it out. And listen, they don't need that much room. If you have a little backyard, you could.
I've seen a house when I came down Lefferts Boulevard and I saw like chickens.
Yeah,
on the
have them in
road.
a little cage.
The
It'd be
hard
lovely.
part must be just getting the eggs, right? Isn't it difficult?
It wasn't that difficult.
Have you ever heard of that trick, like where they grab a chicken's head and they point the eyes to the dirt and they draw a line, and then the chicken just lays there.
And watches the line.
Yeah, it's,
I've never
it's
seen
almost what's the word?
Hypnotizing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hypnotism, yeah.
It's almost paralyzed and like it just stays there until you mess up, until you scratch the line, like you dust it away.
That sounds like an old wives' tale.
No, it's on YouTube. I can show you the video.
Have you seen the videos of the guys get like quail eggs from the store
Okay.
and they incubate them?
And then they hatch quails.
They hatch quails.
That depends on whether the egg is fertilized or not. Like a chicken will lay an egg whether or not it's fertilized.
Yeah.
So there's a trick that you hold it up to a flashlight, and if there's a shadow inside of the egg, then then it is fertilized. But if there's no shadow, then you can go ahead and cook her up and eat her.
I wonder how many times a year, or like the percentage of mess ups they have in like dairy markets where there will be like an egg.
Oh, it's not a mess up. Like every so often, like you'll crack an egg and there will be a little spot in it, a little blood spot. That's the, zygote or whatever.
Some that are like a little larger than blood spots, like it was
Really?
like a foot almost, yeah, like a beak.
Like a foot?
Not a beak.
Like a foot long? It's a big egg.
No, it was like the trace of like a little chicken paw. I don't know what you call it.
That's
A
terrifying.
chicken paw.
Chicken
You mean a
feet,
claw?
right? Yeah. No,
Chicken feet.
chicken. My
Oh.
grandmother eats pig feet.
My
She
parents
loves that.
eat chicken feet. I used to eat it when I was younger. We used to put it in
I
soup.
never tried it.
Have it in soup, chicken foot soup, and
This is
it's.
really fatty, right? Flavory.
I don't eat it, but I eat the soup. And I don't know. I think it gives it a flavor that's
Yeah, it's all the fats.
really good. Yeah.
Chicken foot soup. Never had it. I feel like that was offered. I went to a wedding one time that they had chicken foot soup. I can't remember what kind of soup it was, but I seem to remember there being chicken feet involved. Didn't have it though.
It's pretty cool.
What type of wedding
Yeah,
was it?
I guess it's a bad. Bad story because I've heard of that. I've seen it.
Wait, what type of wedding was it?
A wedding.
What race?
What race of wedding?
Just the race for
normal
the
standard.
people.
Oh, this was my friend from high school. His father is Polish, and and his now wife Gloria is Chinese.
Okay, I've never heard of that.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, I
That's
guess
cool.
I like that first.
I guess that happened because in Guyana there's also like Chinese people,
Okay,
so maybe that's
maybe there's some
They
cultural drift, as
yeah,
they say.
a lot of that happens.
Well, the bell
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
rang, so I gotta hoof out of here.
It was wonderful having you. This file will be sent to you, and there will also be the maybe a YouTube link.
Ooh, a YouTube link. Well, I do love YouTube.
We
It
will
will only
sign.
get better. It will only get better from here.
This is part 1.
Next time we'll have 2 forensic people.
No, that's fine. Have a great rest of your day.
You got it.
Anytime, you
Yeah.
too. Thank you so much.
And Nate.
Take care of those chickens for me.
Thank you.
Is there another line? Oh, Lord. Yeah, I want to replay that part.
Which part? Which